Hi, it's Liz. It's Saturday afternoonish. This is the weekly vlog where I take you along the journey of what I am doing for embroidery and sewing, kind of behind the scenes of what is happening. So yesterday I tried to run the machine and I was doing these dogs and I was getting a ton of breaking of thread, and so I changed out the needle to see if that helped. It did not, so I blew out and kind of cleaned the machine to see if that was the cause. So I do want to do another run with the dogs because it's a fairly simple design to see if that fixed the problem before I moved on to other things. So last night I was thinking about what I was going to do for this weekend, and I decided I should probably cut all my material. I have to make about probably 80 to 100 napkins, linen napkins I want to make for an event. So I was thinking if I start the process now, I can kind of bulk batch everything, so cut out all the material at once. So kind of hoping to do that test today, cut out all the material, and then the next time maybe serge all the edges, and then the next time I can do it, iron all the creases down to fold them in and then top stitch them. So that's kind of a big undertaking for sure. And I keep adding things to the project list. I do feel very scattered at the moment, and I think my workstation kind of shows that. So I'm an early childhood educator, so I work with primarily 2.5 to 5 years old. And so when I was at work, I was looking for a large piece of felt, and they actually had quite a bit of felt there. So my idea was that I wanted a big piece of felt, and then we could put it on the table or the floor, and then we could put people on it. You could kind of see where they took the idea. You can make different shapes, but kind of giving it an outline from that felt. So what happened is I found a bin of felt supplies, and they had this big piece. The only big piece that they had was of the red felt, and then they had all these smaller pieces. I mean, they're not small, they're the 8.5 by 11 size piece of felt, and this one is textured, which is really neat. So they had all these different colors, and I brought it down and I laid it on the carpet, and then the kids actually just started taking these pieces and laying them out and kind of putting them in different places. Some of them were stepping on them, some of them were just creating shapes with them, different shapes with them, and it was neat. It brought everyone together. What I was thinking is, instead of something that's very definitive, that I would do something a bit more abstract. So one of the kids took the yellow piece of felt and was like, it looks like the sun, and put it on there. And so I have the big piece of burgundy. I was like, oh, should we make a desert? And in my head, I'm looking for things that are really definitive, but as the kids were, just creating with just these rectangles, it was just kind of like, maybe we need something more abstract, because they're already creating these things with just flat pieces of the same size pieces, just in different colors. So right now I want to clear off my kitchen table. I want to cut more felt as well, and then I want to cut that linen. So it is Sunday today, and yesterday I just got some numbers that were done. The machine seems to be working out okay, but I think my setup needs to change. So I always try to think what's my prime real estate in this room, which is this embroidery machine. Now this table actually folds down this side and that side. So this side of the table just has this piece that runs across. Makes it sturdy enough to hold up things, but not sturdy enough that I feel confident to put a machine on and run it. So that's why I have the embroidery machine at this base. So with that, I push my serger and sewing machine to the side, and when I want to use it, I end up pushing the embroidery machine back, meaning that I could probably put the embroidery machine on its own separate thing, and then put a sewing machine and the serger on its own separate thing as well, because I don't use them every day like I have been trying to use it with the embroidery machine. So that being said, my desk has kind of been a dumping ground, and then my Cricut has been kind of in the corner on its own thing, which I don't use it every day, but it's also in the corner, but it's kind of been shoved in. I have my ironing table because I have been doing some ironing, and then I have a steam machine, so it's kind of taking up that area and it's not being utilized. So my thought is moving the desk. I actually had it back there originally, so moving back there, but then put the embroidery machine on where the Cricut is now. So the Cricut would go there, but it would be sitting underneath the window, because obviously I want to be near the window. And then I can shift the whole table down. Then I can put my Cricut, my sewing machine, and my serger, and there'll be easy access points. And that can kind of be in the corner. I'm not going to have to use it all the time. Still have to figure out a way and an area to put my mannequin and the ironing machine. And at the very end here, I have a bed with a foam mattress on it right now, just because I had to take it off of another bed. So that's a whole separate issue. So I forgot to show you yesterday, I finished cutting those 25 pieces of those napkins. I made it just over 21 by 21 inches, though I rounded a material, so I have to see if I have more fabric for me to wash and then cut some more out. I didn't press them like crazy because I'm going to run my serger through it, and I'll create a whole nother video about it, but I'll show you my progress so far. So I still haven't moved my ironing board from here, but I put the table in the corner. I need to redo all the little fabric scraps there. And you also need to figure out where some buttons and notions and things, because they've been living on my floor quite a bit. But I put my Cricut at the end. I put my serger here because I'm going to use it today. I have my sewing machine here. So now I have my embroidery machine here, and I have some like vinyl and everything like that. That's just an old wine rack, but I was thinking I'll clear out the top and move those down so I can put my stabilizers at the very top there. So I have this rainbow organizer thing. I moved my desk and I moved it this way, and I don't know if I love it, but it does open up more space on the other side, just because I have a bunch of stuff that I still need to sort through and figure out where I'm going to put it or what I'm going to do with it. So I don't know if maybe I should move some of that desk organization into these bins, because a lot of my embroidery stuff is on the other side of the room. So or what I could do is keep maybe 1, 2, 3, the top 3 for embroidery. So my 3 projects or 2 projects that I'm working on currently, and then the rest can be office supplies. That's another option too. So I found this like garden patio round table. I think I spray painted this one white, and I want to save it for an event, so I don't want to put it outside yet, and it's so rainy and muggy outside. So it is the afternoon. I had a little bit of a nap. Yesterday I started having a little bit of a cough. It kind of rolled over till today, so I feel much better after this nap. So I have my linen piece of paper template type thing. I found some more of the linen fabric, so I'm gonna go cut out some more. I didn't cut out anything for the felt, and I still haven't completed the room, as you can see. So we'll see how much we get done today. So it's Monday night. I didn't go to fitness class after work just because I'm not feeling 100%. So decided to go ahead and start doing the serging on the Janome. So I still have this pile to do, but it's a start. So I finished 1, 2, 3. So 13 are at this step where they have been serged. So I just put in the laundry an olive color linen, which I'll use. So this will be the black and then a green linen. So it's Wednesday today. I am still serging up the edges of the napkins and doing that. So I just washed the fabric for the linen color. I ran out of the black fabric, so this is the color that I've chosen that I had enough quantity of. I actually wanted more of like a beige or like a taupe color, but this is the color that I did. And I put it on the hottest setting to wash it. It is linen. And then I put it on the hottest setting to dry it, just so that I could get out as much shrink possible before I start
making them and cutting them. So that is all. I think there's 10 meters there. So I'm not too sure how many napkins I'm going to get out of that, but I'm just going to keep cutting. And then I still have this stack of black napkins. Haven't done any embroidering yet, and I have not got to that felt story either. It's just like, you know, it's always like, what is the priority this week? And right now I need to start doing a little bit every day on the napkins. I'm hoping maybe this weekend I can kind of blast through some of those, but I feel like the napkins are going to be a process. So I like the new setup a lot better. I like having the embroidery setup separate than the serging machine. What I actually should do with my embroidery machine is choose a design that I don't have to change any of the colors for and just let it run, so that I can still do that with my serger, and then just when I need to switch out something for the embroidery machine, I can do that, but I could have both machines running. Before, when it was all on the same table, the embroidery machine was definitely affected by my serger, because you're running through the machine so fast that the vibrations were just really offsetting to both machines because they were right beside each other. So I think much better setup. It's Thursday and I'm running both my machines right now. So I have my embroidery over here, and then I can sit over in this corner over here and do some serging. So it is so great that I can have both going at the same time, and it works out so well. So I put the embroidery machine on, and then I go sit on my serger and start serging. I'm just starting a straight stitch as I'm still doing the napkins, and then this one I have to skip steps so it's not a continuous run. So I have to actively listen to when the machine's done, or right now I'm having a thread break. So I'm also noticing that because I'm using the 5,000 cones, it's obviously not going to fit on the machine, so I'm using like a ruler and some kind of a home jig method to use the 5,000 meter cones, but I probably should get like a proper one. I don't know if it's really going to make any difference, but what I'm noticing with my thread, if I'm not hooking it up a certain way, then the tension goes a little bit slack or a little bit tight, and it causes jumps or anything like that, or thread breaks. So I'm still trying to figure it out as I just move my machine over here. But it's actually making me more focused on the serging part of it, because I'm actively having to, even though I'm stopping and starting to do the embroidery machine and the next steps, it's actually making me more feeling like I have a sense of urgency with the serger, because I need to get it done, because I'm trying to do both. So when I first sat down, it was a little bit overwhelming because I'm trying to like do this and do that. So it's getting me into a rhythm, because I need to be like, okay, I need to serge this amount because I need to skip to the next step. When this machine stops, I'll stop over here and do this. So it's a weird, maybe I've just been multitasking like my entire life, and I just need it to make myself focused, but it's actually working out really well. So right behind me, I also have my home sewing machine. So if I do need more bobbin, like I need more white thread bobbin, I can just plug in my home sewing machine, wind up a whole bunch of bobbins, and so then this can continuously run. I can kind of work with those other two machines, the serger, and then doing more of the bobbin thread and figuring that out. Alright, it is Friday. I am finishing up, serging up those tablecloths, so I am hoping that this weekend I can get cutting that green material so I can start on that next step. So I'm just batching everything. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later. Bye.